question you guys had is, when do I breathe when I'm doing or performing an exercise? So it depends on the exercise. What I always tell people is you always want to breathe in. Imagine like breathing in is all the energy that you have when it's going to be the hardest portion or the start of the movement. And you want to exhale when you are finishing that movement, right when you're about to almost like lock out or you finish that movement. That's where you want to exhale. Or like think about counting. You're taking a deep breath in, it's one, and then you're finishing that rep, you're exhaling from there. So now let's look into a couple of different exercises. So let's use for a squat for an example. So let's say if we're going to go into like a normal back squat. So back squat's a pretty easy way to kind of remember on when to kind of breathe. So remember, the hardest movement is going to be at the bottom portion again. So imagine like you're going underwater. So you're holding in that breath. So then when you're about to exhale, take a deep breath in. You're holding it in. As you're squatting down again, you're still holding that breath in. And as you're coming up from the breath, you want to exhale at the very, very top of that motion from here. All right, and then movements, let's say, look on a deadlift, like kind of on when to breathe. So when you're getting into that position out here, again, once you're getting in a position, you're ready to engage and lift that weight, take that deep breath in, engage, still hold it, and then exhale at the bottom. A lot of people, what they do is that they exhale at the very, very top. But again, to remember, you could do that, but that's only if you're finishing that rep, right? But again, to remember, part of the movement too is also lowering down the movement. A deadlift isn't picking up the weight and then dropping the weight. That's not a deadlift. I don't know why people do that. The whole motion is picking it up and putting it back down. That's going to help you get stronger in the movement.